Hello, welcome. It is once again time for our Friday legislative update where we try to keep you up to date on the things that are happening down at the Idaho State House. We are going to give you a full view of this week because it was a very busy week, and sometimes on Friday it's nice to remember what happened on Monday. So we'll start with Monday. On Monday, we heard a presentation from the Idaho Department of Water Resources, presented both to the House and Senate committees. Idaho Department of Water Resources was proud to announce that they have set about upgrading groundwater measuring devices in the Eastern Snake River Plain Aquifer and have demonstrably taken steps to recharge that aquifer. It's the first time in a really long time they've actually put more water into the aquifer than they've taken out. Again, something that Otter highlighted in his State of the State. They have also reduced the number of backlogged water use permits across the state. It was great to hear the presentation from the department, as water being one of our most important resources. We are excited to see them present the good work that they were doing. Then on Tuesday, the House, in the House Energy, Environment, and Technology Committee, we heard Representative Clow present for a print hearing a concurrent resolution to reject a rule in the Idaho Code that mandates annual testing of and inspection of all installed backflow regulators in public drinking systems. There is some concern there around how it might endanger public drinking water. We are paying attention to that and will elevate those concerns moving forward. Also on Monday, I wanted to mention, we saw in the Senate Resources Conservation, something to know, Idaho Department of Fish and Game mentioned possibly opening up a swan hunting season. Some legislators had some concerns. We will continue to check in with our partners in the sportsman community to figure out how best to move forward on that issue. Then, of course, what most folks are talking about, not only here in Idaho, but around the nation, this week was the K through 12 science standards were once again reviewed by the House Education Committee. We thank Representative Van Orden for being very transparent about this committee coming forward. She published the agendas a week ahead of time, wanted to give a lot of notice so that the public could be there and testify on this issue. It is a perennial issue that we have seen. It has been the last 3 years. They've been trying to figure out how they could update our curriculum standards in Idaho so that we can get past the 2001 standards that are currently being leveraged by Idaho teachers. What was really interesting to note, yesterday we saw seven people get the chance to testify, all of them in support of this science standards. Then again this morning, they took more testimony. There were 17 folks who who came up to the Capitol House to testify. Of them, all of them were in support. In addition, the Idaho State Department of Education had done a full hearing across the state to bring parents, teachers, and educators together to once again look at the standards as a whole, the science docket, but specifically those 5 paragraphs that were removed after a motion that was made by Representative Syme last year that had to deal with human impact on the environment. It was nice to see scientists, professional educators, students, industry leaders, business owners all show up and testify in support. And we know that even with the overwhelming support, there may be some motion presented to alter some of those before they send it over to the Senate. They did not vote on that this morning. That was an important note. Chairman Representative Van Orden has said that they will vote it before the end of the session, but hasn't really flagged just yet when that will happen. We will try to keep you aware of when that will vote so that you can stay tuned. And again, this will be before the Senate Education Committee at some point this session. So there's still more opportunity to get involved and voice your concerns about ensuring that Idaho students have comprehensive, robust science education to make sure that they're prepared for those 7,000 jobs, STEM jobs in Idaho that went unfilled last year. And we know that we're going to see growth in that sector going forward. That looks like it's it for this week at this point. You know, it was a busy week. Sometimes we get to Friday and it feels like we've had 3 weeks in one. So we try to keep you updated, not only with these Facebook Live opportunities to recap what happened, but you will again get an email on Monday sharing what we think is going to come up on the agendas next week. Stay tuned. Things move very quickly. We will definitely have more opportunities for you to connect with your legislators in the State House and raise your voices on issues of clean air, clean water, public lands, wildlife. And we need you to show up at the State House with us. Thanks again to all those folks who showed up on the science standards both yesterday and today. It matters. Folks are paying attention. We will link to a couple of great articles about that committee hearing specific if you want to find out more information, kind of hear some of the specific comments that were mentioned. Until next time, though, thank you so much for following along, for supporting the work that we do. We couldn't do it without partners like you, and look forward to staying in touch. Have a great weekend. Get outside, have some fun, breathe some of that fresh air. I know I'm looking forward to it. Even though Punxsutawney predicted 6 more weeks of winter, hopefully that means a couple more opportunities to get out there and track some snow. So have a great weekend. I will see you next Friday. Stay tuned.